So today we're going to be making a delicious dinner out of our Trim Healthy Table Cookbook. This is part of the Trim Healthy Mama program that I have lost 85 pounds on over the last almost 2 years. We're going to be making a recipe I've never made before. Believe it or not, there's something in here I haven't tried. We're going to be making something called Taste of Home Casserole. Now the reason I chose this is because I was out in my garden today and I actually picked some fresh green beans. I mean, we're in mid-May and this was some green beans that had come up from last year's green beans. I didn't even know there were beans on it. So anyway, we're gonna be having a yummy casserole. It's got ground beef and cheese and green beans, and I think you're really gonna love it. So this is considered an S meal on Trim Healthy Mama, which means that it is more satisfying because it's gonna have a little bit more fat. And let's get started. So the first thing that I did today is I preheated my oven to 350 degrees, and we're gonna start off by browning our ground beef. This is a really nice plate that I have for defrosting meat. I use it all the time for ground beef, chicken, that kind of thing. I'm gonna link that below if anyone's interested in trying it. They're very inexpensive, and you know how it is. Sometimes you try your best to put your meat out the night before in the refrigerator, but if you forget, then good luck. So I'll link it if you're interested. The next thing I'm gonna do is start trimming my green beans. Now I'm cutting this recipe in half. I only had a pound of ground beef, but the recipe in the book makes a much larger portion. So if you wanna make that, just double everything, but I'll show you this recipe for half of the recipe. Now if you would like to use canned green beans, that works as well. All I'm gonna do is cut the tips off of my green beans, and I'm gonna cut them into like 2-inch pieces. Actually into like 1-inch pieces. Because both of these items, the green beans and the mushrooms, come from a canned recipe, I just wanna make sure that they cook up properly. I'm not gonna steam them very long, especially I'll probably start with the green beans, and then I'll add the mushrooms to it. I have another little tool that I've used in many of my videos. This is called the Sistema Steamer. You fill the bottom up with water, and then you put your vegetables you want to steam inside of this little tray, and you can steam them in the microwave. It's super easy and really effective. All right, I'm gonna put my green beans in for about 4 minutes. I'm gonna take them out and add my mushrooms. Just let the microwave do all the work. All right, my green beans have been cooking in the microwave for 4 minutes. They look beautiful. Oh, they're lovely. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add my mushrooms. This calls for an 8-ounce can of mushrooms. This is 8 ounces. These are some Baby Bell sliced mushrooms. I'm just gonna throw these in, and I'm just gonna put them in for another minute or two. All I wanna do is give them the texture of canned mushrooms like I would have if I had canned on hand. We're gonna go right into the container here, the Sistema Steamer, and we're gonna throw it back in the microwave. All right, I'm gonna take my ground beef off of the stove here. And as you can see, there's really no grease at all from this meat. I bought a really good quality meat. I think it was 93%. So I'm gonna set this aside for just a minute. And we're gonna make our sauce that goes with this casserole. I'm gonna be using some light mayonnaise and some plain non-fat yogurt. It calls for dried onion flakes. I've used all of those that I have, so I'm actually gonna use some onion. It calls for 2 tablespoons, so I'm gonna put in about 1/3 of a chopped onion. Just gonna take my Vidalia onion chopper out and put this onion through the chopper. Just makes the whole process really easy. I use this to chop carrots and tomatoes, zucchinis, everything. I'm one of those people that really likes everything kind of uniform, and I don't like chopping onions, so, but I love eating them, so there you go. I'm kind of stuck. So there's our sauce that we're going to use for this. And now we're going to get our seasonings. All right, we're ready to add our ingredients. I've got my dry seasonings. I'm going to add these to my ground beef. I'm going to go ahead and just mix these up. I'm also going to add my steamed vegetables. Like I said, if you would prefer to use canned, that's what the recipe actually calls for, so feel free to do that. I really love using this steamer. These vegetables just come out perfect. I'm gonna add this to the mix. Oh boy, that smells so good. I can see why it's called a taste of home casserole. Wow. Get this all mixed in together. Now we're going to be adding some cheddar cheese. It's almost like a green bean casserole. It's very similar. Now I sprayed my pan, but you don't have to. It doesn't call for it, and I'm going to throw it in a preheated oven, and we're going to cook this for 45 minutes. I'll bring you back as soon as it's done. Well, I thought that I had some Jell-O, some sugar-free Jell-O, and I realized I do not have any. So I am going to improvise tonight. I like to sometimes have Jell-O, sugar-free Jell-O with cottage cheese and a little bit of berries. But like I said, I didn't make it yet, so I'm going to make some for tomorrow night. I'm going to improvise, just do the cottage cheese and the berries, and that's what we're going to have as our extra with the casserole tonight. We're both on a weight loss program right now, and so I just try to be really careful. I thought about making this. I really think this is going to be plenty of food, so I'm not going to be making a salad with it tonight. Well, our dinner is done. I decided to go ahead and cook up some asparagus as well. It just, after it cooked, it didn't really seem like a lot. So this is what we're serving tonight. Now, this is, as I said, a half a recipe. So it said that for a full recipe, you could get between 6 to 8 servings. So I'm just gonna cut this into a fourth for each serving. So let me show you how it came out. So this is my delicious casserole. I tell you what, this house smells absolutely delicious. So I'm going to cut this into 2 servings, which will be a fourth of the casserole, and I'm going to try it for you as well. It's got the mushrooms and it's got the different sauces. This just smells absolutely delicious. I can see why they call it Taste of Home. All right, I'll do the other one in just a moment. And I'm also going to be serving this with some asparagus. This is my casserole. Make sure you can see it. And these were made from the green beans from my garden, so. That is super good. And this is a Trim Healthy Mama recipe. It's gonna keep you right on track. It's gonna fill you up, and it's gonna be really delicious. And remember, I've also got the cottage cheese and strawberries that I'm gonna be serving with this. So I know I'm gonna enjoy my dinner. I hope you'll give this a try. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. Give me a like, a thumbs up, or ring that bell for future notifications, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.